happening, everybody? Appreciate you guys checking in. All right, you got me for right now. Severe's going to be popping in here in just a second. Just running a little bit late. It'll be me and Severe rocking with you guys tonight. We got, obviously, dog walked by the Philadelphia Eagles, 0-31. We're going to break down the entire game. We're going to take a look at some of the stats. I definitely have my notes of the game. There was definitely some game situations that kind of threw a big question mark in my mind, just kind of how it was handled, the play calling at times, and situational play calling. So I definitely want to talk about that. But man, guys, let me know. Let me know your initial thoughts of what the game was like, how you think the game went. I'm definitely going to give you my thoughts. Some of the things that I was looking for right as kickoff was about to go down. As kickoff went, there's definitely something I wanted to look for, and it was going to allow me to kind of get an indication as to what the rest of the game was possibly going to look like. And so I definitely want to kind of tap into that, but I got a whole list of notes that I am going to go through and kind of share with you guys my thoughts, but also let me know what you guys think. And at the same time, there is a question that I have for the chat, and I'm gonna hit you guys with that question before Severe comes on. I'm gonna kind of wait for him to kind of get on through, but it's definitely so. I have a question as it relates to how the refs can call from up top or use some of that replay assistance. That's definitely a question I'm going to ask you guys, and we'll probably start with that, but I want to say what's up to a few people kind of popping up in here. I appreciate you guys rocking out on this Sunday. Remember, if you can, double tap that screen, hit that like button, but at the same time, I do a sub-only chat, just my way of showing my appreciation to all the subscribers. Also drop some memberships if you want to support the channel. I think what I'm going to do is against the New York Giants, I'm going to do a members only live. We're going to walk through the tailgate area, do a live stream so you guys can check it out. Hopefully the Wi-Fi and the connection is right. And if it is, we're going to go live the entire time. If not, I might cut it off and just post a members only video so you guys can see it and check out the tailgate. But also we're going to break down game film of all the free agent prospects as well as the college prospects. And if there is someone that you guys want us to kind of break down or show on screen, let me know, and just become a member, and you can kind of throw those suggestions out. We'll definitely try to do it that way. Again, just a way of me showing my appreciation to the members as well. But we're going to tap into a lot of players this offseason for sure. Jason in the building. What's going on, brother? I appreciate you rocking in here. Dominic 5 in the building. What's going on? Dre, what is happening, man? Appreciate y'all. Jason, I was done taking notes in the second quarter. I know. I keep taking notes. It's just kind of the way I do. But don't get me wrong. It is hard at times to continue to take notes because at the same time, you kind of end up just almost repeating yourself with the notes at times. And so, Kevin Lurker, what's going on, man? You're just saying stay the course? Stay the course. You know, one good thing we can take from this is, look, we're in one more step closer to that number 1 overall pick. So we'll kind of see how it works out. PDL, what's going on, brother? What's happening? The whole truth is after week 2, I saw the writing on the wall. Rode my motorcycle until the Bakersfield weather got too cold. Yeah, man, it's at the beginning of the season, it's tough because at the beginning of the season, there was a lot of things that really didn't happen. Some of the things that you kind of saw that it was almost an indication that there's a good chance. I'm never saying that it's set in stone, right? I understand this game of football in that certain coaches can turn things around. You can't see everything or know everything unless you're in that building inside those walls, right? But from what we can see from the outside looking in, it looked like there's a really good chance that it was going to be a struggling season. Even after picking Genty, number 6 overall, and because we didn't revamp that offensive line, we weren't going to at least give Genty the opportunity to have the most success as possible, right? So we'll kind of get into that. So we'll definitely talk about that as well. But look, here's my first question to you guys. Before I dive into my notes and everything that was going on, I want to say it was around second quarter, roughly. There was a pass to Devontae Smith on 3rd and 4, and he was short. Sirianni was shown on the sidelines. He was about to pull that red flag. He was about to challenge it because he thought that Devontae Adams possibly got it. But then they called from up top, and replay assistance gave them the first down. So let me ask you guys and educate me because I really don't know. what allows New York, all right, or replay assistants up top to come in and dictate or at least assist with the call when it's not inside of the 2-minute warning, or whether it be first half or second half towards the tail end of the game? What dictates that replay assistants up top can call in and actually change that call? Because if they didn't change that call and didn't have the replay assistants, and obviously that wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game. They wiped us up. But I'm just curious for future. How can New York or replay assistants come into play and it basically saves Sirianni from throwing the challenge flag? And, obviously maybe he would have won it or not, but at least it puts the coach in the position to have to use the challenge flag for what they actually intended that to be. And so, guys, let me know. Honestly, I'll be dead honest. That's one thing that I have not been able to figure out up to this point. Is that replay assistants? What good is the challenge flags half the time if replay assistants can come in and help you out with that? Don't know, but let me know, guys. Chimpanzee Bananini. Oh man, I don't know if I could rock through that entire name, but you got Chimpanzee in the building. What's going on? Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. You also, Michael in the building. My hopium levels were way too high this season, but luckily it's almost over. And it's always, here's the thing, it's always good to have just at least some hope, right? I'll be honest, be dead honest. I was hoping that Pete Carroll could kind of turn us into a manageable organization. I thought that he was going to be able to at least be able to give us a little bit of hope, in a sense that I didn't think we were going to all of a sudden, make playoffs. That was my expectation with Pete's age, but I was hoping that we could squeak out at least 6 wins this season and just do better than last season and be competitive without all the drama that we've seen throughout this entire season. I didn't expect the drama that we've seen so far this season to happen. I didn't expect that. And I'll be very clear. Did not expect that. And so that was surprising to me to have so much dysfunction under Pete Carroll. Was not expecting that. So it's okay to have hope. I'm with you. Mine was very reserved. I kind of had us around possibly 6 wins. That was what I thought it could be at best. I thought the ceiling was 7. But obviously we're 2 in 13 right now, which is kind of wild. Jason, the game lasted 2 hours and 33 minutes. It did go kind of fast because, man, the Eagles just completely held on to that clock, which was wild. Jason, all right, the new rule allows replay assistants in spot, catch, and clock calls. Also, if an error in like face mask or horse collar comes into play. Okay. All right, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's not. I wasn't completely clear on just kind of how that rule plays out, but man, it's good to have the call correct. But man, Sirianni, sometimes it bails out the coaches. But I appreciate you clearing that up. Michael, I was expecting 8 wins, not 2, and that's respectable, right? That's respectable with just Pete Carroll's history and what he could potentially bring to the table with his experience. That's respectable. Jason had 6 to 8 wins. Monster, what's going on? Appreciate you in here. Severe's going to be here very shortly. Appreciate everybody rocking here. Double tap that screen. We're going to get into this game, and I'm going to give you some of my hot takes. There's definitely one other take that I have, which, again, I don't understand why. I'm not seeing this player on the field, but we're going to get into it in just a second. You said, need Houston to beat us so bad the team keeps giving up against the Giants. With Kermit biting the dust, yeah, man, I heard about the injury. We have a trap game at the end of this year. Yeah, I don't know. It could be a battle. Obviously, with Patrick Mahomes out now, who knows just kind of how that Chiefs team kind of looked. But I think it's Carson Wentz that comes in, and obviously he's not the best quarterback in the world at all. He's basically shown that he's a career backup at this point in his career, and so we'll kind of see how that works out. But yeah, Houston just put it on. I think they played the Titans, I believe. Houston put it on them. And so it's going to be very interesting what that game looks like. And really, it's the Giants game. at this point that potentially could keep us out of that number one. But I'm telling you right now, I think we need that number one pick to potentially kind of try to get into the first steps of turning this thing around. There's a lot more that needs to happen, but I think that's the first step to potentially turn this thing around. Money Chuck in the building. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you popping in here. Kevin Larker, week 18 just got more interesting. It did. I think it's just gonna be a battle. It might be the battle of the defenses, and the Chiefs have a good defense over there. So, and our offense obviously looks absolutely horrendous. We'll talk about Kenny Pickett in just a second. Yvette, salute to you. Appreciate you popping in here as well. Jason, Minshew was finally able to knock Chiefs out the playoffs. Shoot, that's right. My bad. It is Minshew over there. Thank you for throwing that out there and correcting me. It is Minshew over there. So yeah, and maybe that's why, Kevin, you're saying it makes it a little more interesting. Minshew might, Minshew might have a little bit of motivation. If he's the one under center, he might have a little more motivation just to kind of give you that last little middle finger and do work. So we'll see. Hopefully it does, man. Again, Silver's going to be here in a second. We're going to break this whole thing down. I got a couple questions to hit you guys with before he can get in here. Pete was asked, what do we need to do to improve? And his answer was, I don't know. And that's the second or third time I've heard that. I appreciate you bringing that up because he has now said that a couple times in his pressers where he doesn't know where to go from here. And I think at one time he said this is just strange territory to him. He doesn't know what to do in these type of circumstances. And I said this in my live yesterday, and I said, I know that's not what you're saying to the locker room. That's not what you're saying to the players, but just your demeanor in itself can say 1,000 words. You don't have to say it, but your demeanor, your mannerisms can tell a lot to a locker room, and that's maybe what is being read in that locker room. But we'll see just kind of how the rest of the season plays out. Darion, hopefully I got it pronounced right. Darion, hopefully it is. This is the most important offseason of Raider history. It is, and I think it's really dependent on what happens with this coaching staff. If we go out there and we clean slate and we really hit the reset button and do everything we possibly can, and we get a young-minded or a head coach that can potentially be the future. Right now, Pete's 74 years old. He's not the future, right? He's 74. He's not going to be around for the rest of his contract, most likely. All right, I'm not going to say guaranteed. I'll never say that, but most likely he won't be around for the rest of his contract. But the thing is that if we do go out and get a young-minded head coach, no matter who you guys like, you got to stick with them for at least 3 years. You got to let him develop and create a foundation in his own way. And I think if that's the case, yes, without question, it's the most important offseason because that is going to help us try to right this ship in the right way. And if it doesn't work out, at least you stick with the head coach. You let them try to build it. And if it doesn't work out, then at least you gave them the opportunity. And the next head coach that comes in here knows that you at least maybe gave somebody enough time and opportunity to give it a shot. Because right now we haven't been able to do that. And I understand why in the past, but I think we need to do that. And I think if that does happen, yes, without question, I think it's the most important offseason because we've been wrong for so long. We need to finally get it right. We need the number one pick. Yeah. Yvette, you're saying, yes, he has. That's not the right thing to say. I don't know. And it's tough. It's tough to hear it. Money Chuck. Where Pete should go from here is an RV retirement park in Arizona. Hey, look, there's plenty of retirement homes here in the Vegas area. He doesn't need to go far, but any retirement area might go right. But I wouldn't be opposed to Arizona either. Jason, if they retain Pete, I'm going to say this year was intentional. I mean, maybe that was the plan, right? Maybe that's what he's selling the front office and Markdavis. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. It just sucks. I don't really know what's going on through Mark's head, to be honest. We're going to talk about Kenny Pickett in just a second. Again, I'm going to break out the stats. We're going to talk about the game. There's definitely some situations that I'm not sure why he made certain decisions within the game. But one of the things that I was looking for to start out this game was how was this team going to adapt to the cold? I want to see just kind of how they started out the game. If they started out the game fairly strong, I think that they could have carried that throughout the rest of the game. Being an indoor team, and now you're playing. I mean, it was basically you saw snow falling, right? You want to see just kind of how this team is going to adapt to the cold to start the game, and we let up a touchdown to start the game. That's one of the things that I cannot stand with Patrick Graham. It's kind of been his MO the last couple seasons, and it's definitely been a knock that I've had on him. No matter what scheme he has to run, even having the scheme he has this year, I've always wanted to see Patrick Graham to start the game strong, and it was going to be so important for them to start strong in this game because of the cold. And if they didn't start strong, then I think the cold was going to play a factor and it was going to affect them. And I'm not saying that's the only reason why we got our ass handed was 0-31, but that's definitely something I want to see to start the game, because anytime you have a West Coast team or a dome team playing out in the cold, you definitely want to see how they're going to adapt to it, and you can kind of get a tell for what it's going to look like at the very beginning of the game. And unfortunately, we let up a touchdown very opening drive, and I think it was going to be a making for a kind of a rough game. That's just my opinion. The other thing, one thing that Pete Carroll can help out with is just the situational play calls, right? The decisions in certain situations throughout the game. And I'm going to give you one situation. And it was on our first drive. It was our first drive, and guys, let me know if you agree or disagree. It was the first drive. Philly went down and scored 0-7. And we went for it on 4th and 6 from our own 33-yard line. My question is, why don't you kick the field goal and try to get points early? We've been struggling all season long to put points up on the board. And points aren't going to be easy to come by given all the the shortcomings that we have on this offense. Right? Bad offensive line. The running game was probably going to struggle. You got Kenny Pickett starting for the first time this season, a struggling receiver core. And so, first drive of the game, down 0-7, 4th and 6 from our own 33. Why don't you kick the field goal and put points up on the board? Get a little bit of momentum after they just scored 7 points on their opening drive. And so I had to go back and look and go, dang, what was the yardage on that? And even though Daniel Carlson has been struggling this season, I understand that. You got to take every opportunity you can to put points on the board with this offense. And it was early enough to where you didn't have to take that risk. And then now you go for it, you don't get it, and now you give the Eagles the ball with short yardage. And so, to me, I just felt like that's another situation where Pete Carroll can make better decisions with all the history, with all the experience that he has. I don't know why you make that decision. Guys, let me know if you agree or disagree. To me, I just felt like it was a really bad decision that early in the game. And that also sends a message. It sends a message to the rest of the team when you're already going for it on 4th and 6 in a situation where you could kick a field goal and get points. It almost kind of sends a message that you're already in panic mode. You already know that your offense is going to struggle and really struggle to put points up on the board. And so what do? You go for it in desperation mode to try to get 7 as opposed to just take the points early on and try to get some sort of momentum. That, to me, it was just tough. So, guys, let me know if you agree or disagree. I got another thing that definitely I just question. I question the decision-making of this coaching staff. I got one more for y'all. Yvette, you're saying, what if we get the same thing next year? We'll see. We'll see. That was bad, but the mission is intact. Hashtag SS. Hashtag SS, Dre, you are right. Hashtag strategic substitution. Boy, George, what's going on, man? Make the pain stop. Hey, let's let the pain roll for 3 more games. Let's let the pain roll for 3 more games, and then let's let the pain stop. Joey in the building. Appreciate you. Jason. 49 yards out. 49 yards is not out of range. I agree. I think they were wanting 7 no matter what. Yeah. You're already in desperation mode to get touchdowns the opening drive of the game, and that's what that told me. I mean, you're literally in field goal range. It's 49-yarder. that's well within Carlson's range, and you opt to go for it on 4th and 6 on your very opening drive. To me, that sends a message to the rest of the team that you're already in desperation mode. What up, Severe, man? I know you're going to pop in here in a second. Almost as bad as taking an unexplosive running back at 6. We'll talk about it once you get in here. I know people are already kind of getting at me on a short that I posted, questioning whether or not Genty was worth it at 6. But we'll wait to talk about that when you get in here. The only thing I'll say is, look, it's not just because you say Genty isn't worth it at 6 doesn't mean that he's going to be potentially a good running back. Just not worth it at 6. But we'll get into that when you get in here, big dog. The Wizard. We need to stop with the personnel changes every year. We do, but this is a very unique situation. And I'm with you. If Pete Carroll was 50 years old, or we knew that Pete Carroll could potentially be here for 10 plus years or 12 years or so, you know what I'm saying? Then yes, I'm with you. Let's just continue and try to trust the process, especially with Pete Carroll's history. But he's 74. He's 74. And there's one other really big point that I want to make with Pete Carroll is that right now he's on a 3-year contract with a 4th-year option. I feel pretty confident that he's not going to last the 3 years. All right. If you want to sign a top-tier free agent, and I have a ton of other reasons why I think we need to move on from Pete Carroll at this point because of his age, is if you want a top-tier free agent, a lot of people are talking about Linderbaum from the Baltimore Ravens. There's other top guys that are going to want to go. There's going to be a ton of teams that are going to want these top-end free agents. Free agents they're going to want to go somewhere where not only are they going to get paid good money, right? They're going to want to look at that dollar sign, number one, but they also want to go somewhere where there's stability. And a lot of free agents, top-tier free agents, will want to sign a 3 to 4 year contract. Why would they come here when you got a head coach that potentially is out by next year, maybe even the year after that? And then a brand new regime comes in and maybe you're not part of this, part of that regime's plan. So if you know you're going to come in here and there's possibly going to be a regime change through your contract, why would you come here when we're as dysfunctional as we are? Like that's my biggest question. Unless you're coming here purely for the dollar signs, then maybe we can make it happen. But if you want to come here as a free agent, a top tier free agent, why would you come here when you're going to play for a head coach that could potentially be out at the end of next season and then everything's going to be flipped upside down? A new coach will come in here. You might not be in their game plan, and now they're going to potentially ship you off, and now you have to change teams. Potentially. I'm not saying it could happen, but why would you take that contract or come here when you're a top-tier free agent and you might have 4 or 5 other teams offering you top-tier contract? Why would you take it with us? That's all I'm saying. That's another reason why I think it's time to move on from Pete Carroll. I am not a fan of constantly being this revolving door of coaches. I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. The next head coach has to be of the age that you can rock with them for 12 plus years. But the next head coach, you got to give him 3 years. Got to give him 3 years to at least try to trust the process, if at all. Try to prove to other candidates that you'll give them the time. But because Pete is 74 years old, man, I think it's just time. It's time to move on because of the dysfunction that we see. Okay, another topic about this game, but I definitely want to see what everybody else is saying. David and Bill, what's going on, man? It seems like this was a rebuild with all the first-year contracts. So keep in mind, I said this months ago. I think that it was a rebuild in Spytek's eyes. The moves that Spytek made and the contracts that he put in place looked like rebuild, had rebuild written all over it. But I don't think that was Pete Carroll's mindset. I think Pete Carroll wanted to win now. That's why he brought in Geno Smith. And so I think from the very beginning, from free agency, the moves, I just think those two were on completely different paths. Now, head coaches your job is to win. Like, you always want to win. But behind doors, behind the scenes, the front office and head coach, you have to be on the same page, right? A head coach's job is to win. And so I don't fault him for wanting to win, but at the same time, the dysfunction that they have created has not helped in the winning process. But I think Pete Carroll was truly on a win now mode, which doesn't surprise me. He's 74 years old. Yvette, I feel you. But again, if we keep these same coaches with no record of success like Pete, I get keep Pete, but we have to let go the rest. Are you thinking the rest of the coaches? Is that what you're talking about? Is keep the rest or get rid of the rest of the coaches, but keep Pete? Hopefully, I'm following you. Dre, what's up with Devin White? Not finishing plays again. Bench his ass, boosting his ass for 16 tackles. I didn't catch a lot of that. I'll go back and watch the film. The one guy I'd like to bring back, again, you don't want to go into the free agency and draft with so many position needs. One guy I'd like to bring back is Atlanta Roberts. I think he'd be a green dot guy, a captain, and still play downhill. Obviously not the best in coverage, but I do think he could do really well in run support. And so that's one guy I'm targeting to keep on. Pigs, what's going on, man? Pete Carroll's created a toxic brand. I think he hasn't created it. I think he's added to it. He's added to just the toxicity that we have created with this just Raider brand at this point. And so that's why I think it's going to be really, really, really hard to get a top tier head coach to even accept this job unless we create the perfect environment for him. That's why, I think. Money Chuckling, an idiot would blame picking Genty on this. A question or questioning his talent, nothing short of an idiot. Okay, well, I question his talent. All right, and so you can call me an idiot all you want, but the film doesn't lie. All right, and I know we've gotten back and forth with this, but Genty, when you are literally the worst rushing team in the NFL, yes, you have a bad offensive line, but 35 yards this week, 30 yards last week. I think he might be the only running back that has the bulk of the carries on his team. All the other running backs are basically in a rotation. We've pointed out plenty of times why Genty isn't showing flashes of being a good running back. With over 200 touches this season, he should. I think it's been roughly around 230 touches this season, and he hasn't shown flashes. You have to at least show in open space. There's going to be opportunities in over 20 touches that you are going to show that you are worth the number 6 overall pick, and he hasn't showed it. You can't point to where he has clearly shown that he is going to be one of the best running backs to ever wear the silver and black, because that's what you want in a top 10 pick. You hope that he could be in that conversation as one of the better running backs. And the thing is if you think the offensive line is the reason why he's not a good running back, then it proves my point that he needs a good offensive line. And when we do get a good offensive line, then Tank Bigsby outran him today. The backup running back for the Eagles outran Genty. And if you want to say because they have a better offensive line, well, there's your answer. Of course. Because when Genty has a better offensive line, he's going to look better. It's really that simple. But he has to be able to show flashes of greatness even with a bad offensive line, and he hasn't shown it. Not even in an open space where he's cutting into defenders when the sideline is wide open for him. He just doesn't show it. So, and that's fine. You can call it whatever it is, but unfortunately, Money Check, I know we go back and forth, but he hasn't shown it. Point blank, period, in over 200 touches that he's had opportunities to show it. There has been multiple times in games where as long as he made the right cut or read it right, or in open space, he saw the opening and took advantage of it, and he doesn't. He cuts back into defenders. He's just not showing it, unfortunately. So, again, if we get a really good offensive line, guess what? He might turn into a good running back, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm not going to deny that he might turn into a good running back. But it's because we got a good offensive line. It's not because Genty is that good. Period. I might show it on Wednesday. There was a run that Bijan Robinson had on that Thursday night game where that showed the greatness that Bijan Robinson basically has in him. And it was the touchdown carry about 7 yards out, whereas the off tackle play to the left. And the defense, the offensive line, the defense just basically closed down every single gap. And Bijan was basically patient through the handoff, patient to the line of scrimmage. He allowed the defense to close, and bang, he bursted it outside. cut the edge, untouched into the end zone. That was him. There was nothing available in front of him. And that was him creating his own success. Go back and watch the Bijan Robinson touchdown. I believe it was around third quarter, 7 yards out. He created his success. Genty has not shown an ounce of that this year at all out of the 200 touches that he's had. So you can't come on here and say that blaming partly the inefficiencies of the run game is not on Genty. He owns part of the fault of this running game. The O-line is bad. Don't get me wrong. But if he's picked at number 6 and he's as great as you think he's going to be, then he should have been shown flashes by week, what are we in? Week 16? Week 15, week 16? Should have seen it. And right now, we don't see it. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Let's go through. I want to say what's up to everybody else that's popping in here. Let's see. You got Raider Pete in the building. What's going on, man? Hashtag Raiders. Agreed. Give a coach 3 years, but also give him an O-line. I've been an advocate the last 2 years to get the top guard in free agency and get the top offensive tackle in the draft. I've been advocate for it. A lot of people really gave me crap about my grade when we picked Brock Bowers. And I like Brock Bowers. It's kind of, I think Brock Bowers is going to be a much better player at his position than Genty. I think Brock Bowers is a really good tight end, pass-catching tight end. But again, Brock Bowers got us 4 wins last year, and right now it's equate to two wins this year. There's no question that he could be great, but that's how many wins it's got him. It's not about the shiny object on the shelf, right? Brock Bowers was the best player available, and he was. But he was that shiny object. Was that going to equate to wins? No, we got 4 wins, right? Genty, shiny object on the shelf. Does it equate to wins? No, we have 2 wins. And so you have to build the foundation. It's about building the team in the right way. And right now, that's what I won the last 2 seasons. It's the top guard in free agency and the top tackle in the draft. And we haven't done either the last 2 seasons. And this is kind of where we sit. And that's why I didn't have a really good grade when we picked Brock Bowers, because I wanted us to ramp up that offensive line. And we just haven't been able to do it. And this is kind of where we sit. Now, could the next coach come in and prioritize the offensive line, and Genty will look better because the O-line was better? Yes. And Brock Bowers continues to thrive. If we could protect the quarterback, yes. But it's not until the offensive line is put in place. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Let's see. Jesus in the building. It's lose mode now. All right, we're getting there. 3 more games. Let's go. Number 1 draft pick. Number 1 draft pick for so many reasons. We need it, and we'll see if it pays off. Let's see. PDL, exactly. GM and head coach are not on the same planet. They aren't, and it seems like it. I think we've kind of seen that on the wall, writing on the wall. Ever since kind of free agency and just kind of earlier in the season when we weren't really developing players too much. So we'll see. Hitstick, Stepper in the building. What's going on, man? Dominic 5, I wouldn't bring back any of these free agents. That's definitely going to be a hot topic. You want to bring back some because you don't want so many position needs. Like, so if there's ones that are serviceable, then you might want to bring those back because you don't want to have to address so much in free agency as well as the draft, because we have 26 players that are either on the last year of their contract or 1-year contracts. And so we got to sign a lot of guys in this offseason. So if there's guys that are serviceable to bring in that will fill a role, they may not, they may not be amazing, but again, if they could serve a role and kind of get you through next year, and you could prioritize other positions, I think you have to kind of take a look at that. And so, at the end of the day, like I was saying, like a guy like Landon Roberts, Charles Snowden. Charles Snowden has been doing pretty good. So I think a guy as a rotational edge rusher, I think we're bringing Charles Snowden back. So there's definitely guys that you want to keep. And you're saying free agents. But Landon Roberts, I think, is a guy that I would be okay with bringing back because I think he's serviceable to kind of add to the defense. Raiders, 75-28. Man, I got another thing that I was looking out for before we dive into the statistics, because the stats of the game are rough. But Raiders 75-28. In case you don't want us to get our quarterback or top pick, we're not going to get pick number 1. They might do something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? And that would be a crazy chess move by Andy Reid if he basically tried to tank that last game just so we couldn't get that number 1 pick. Or if we win that game, that could be the difference between sticking at, number 2, if that's where we sit, or if we're at number 1 and we drop back to like number 4. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be a very chess move approach to that game by Andy Reid. That would be wild, man. King Alexander in the building. Fire Pete, Spytek, and Brady. The only thing I'll say to that is I do think, as much as I don't agree with Spytek's, some of his free agent moves and stuff like that. Obviously, Oz Kappa was wild. But in the effort to show some consistency and some, we have been an organization that have just completely been a revolving door. And when you have candidates, whether it be GM candidates, head coach candidates, as an outsider looking in, if we keep just shuffling, it just doesn't look good. Nobody's going to want to come over here knowing that you're just going to get shuffled through if you just don't have a good first year. Now, you can somewhat justify that with Pete Carroll, only because he's 74 years old. Just because he is old. You can somewhat justify that. But it's not good. It's not a good look. Don't get me wrong. But with Spytek, I think you have to hold on to him. I don't agree with some of his moves. I would have went elsewhere. Don't get me wrong. But in the effort to just show some consistency and loyalty to people that you hired and brought in, I'd at least give Spytek more time to get his head coach in here, let him do the hiring, and let's see if we can get something rolling. And it's just in the effort of showing any future candidates that we might have to go to that we at least give guys an opportunity that we actually hired on. So that would be my only argument for keeping Spytek. Bay Area, what's going on? I believe the team is completely checked out on Pete. At this point, you never know, right? You don't at this point, because you look at Pete's demeanor as a head coach. You have to keep people, the players, the locker room, everything up. And Pete's demeanor, man, it's rough. It is rough without question. And so we'll see just kind of how it works out. We'll see how they do perform, and we'll see how it works. All right. So, say what's up to a couple more people that just rocked through. Appreciate everybody. Rob in the building. What's happening? I don't know if I always butchered. Devalius. What's going on, man? We're not winning another game. Severe, I see. I'm going to bring you up here in just a second. Brandon Simple. What's going on, man? Let's see. PDL, I see you. Spytek has to get his guy, and it's not going to work. I mean, yeah. I'm with you. My Chuck, 805, I seriously question your judgment. All right, man, I question your judgment as well, but we'll see how it works out. Big dog. But your boy Genty is not looking good, and you can blame it on whatever the hell you want. I got my reasons. Let's see. All right, Severe. Let's see. Let me bring him in. What's happening, big dog?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah, I see Genty's lovers in here. Salute to Money Chuck. How's that working out for you, big dog? I see the comments, bro. How's that working out for you? All I hear is excuses, brother. All I hear is excuses all year. That's all you got is excuses. When your boy puts up some production, then you can talk. Mo Biesto, don't even bring up Saquon Barkley's name, bro. Don't even bring up his name. He led the league as a rookie in scrimmage yards. Only thing that kept Saquon Barkley from being good was injuries. Other than that, he's a million times better than Ashton Genty. So I don't want to hear these excuses, bro. All your excuses, just tell me why he shouldn't have been the pick at 6. Oh, he doesn't have a good offensive line. Then maybe we should have drafted a line at 6. Oh, he doesn't have a good quarterback. Then maybe we should have drafted a better quarterback at 6. Like, I don't want to hear these nonsense excuses all year. That's all I heard. He had one good game, and y'all was bumping the gums, running your mouth. Oh, where you at now? Where you Ryan Clark? He doesn't have the it factor, huh? How you looking now? And what did you do the rest of the year? Not a motherfucking thing. So stop this nonsense. When he plays well, we'll give him credit. To then, dude, we ran a screen last week. He tried to block a fucking defender instead of getting out on the screen. What are you doing? You're an NFL fucking running back. You see a zero blitz coming, and the first thing you do is try to chip a defender instead of helping your quarterback and getting out and being a fucking outlet, and what would have been a touchdown if you had made the right decision. All I hear is excuses. He was running the wrong way several times on play calls. He's missed blocks in the backfield, totally just ignored some blockers, dropped passes that led to interceptions, ran into the back of guards, like been unexplosive instead of trying to take on defenders and make a move, elected to go out of bounds for losses of yardage. And all y'all coming here with is excuses. Like, stop it. Stop the excuses, bro. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
So, Severe, how you feeling, man?
Man, it's nonsense excuses all day, man. Stop making excuses, bro. You shit or get off the pot, man. I don't want to hear why this and why that, bro. We took you at 6. We told you were generational. You were the favorite preseason for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Nobody said at the beginning of the year, oh, well, you know, we don't think he's going to be good because his offense. No, everybody was saying he was generational. He's going to be a top 7 back. People said preseason he's already better than Josh Jacobs, a guy who 2 years ago led the league in rushing. They said that at that time, or 3 years ago, led the league in rushing. They said that at that time he was better than Josh already, walking into the NFL without ever taking an NFL carry. All they did preseason, oh my God, you see him truck this corner. Yes, you see him truck this corner on this guy. You see he ran into that linebacker who got the better of that exchange, right? No, who got the better of that exchange? The dude that went to the effing blue tent afterwards. Every time he's taking a big hit, he's been having to go to the sideline. Like, this dude ain't cut for it, bro. Make somebody miss in the open field, get some fucking yardage. Like, just do that. I don't hear about trucking people. Don't get trucked to people. Big ass running backs that don't do anything. You know, Calvin Nunn guys out here trucking people. I wouldn't drop him at 6 either. But looks like he's way better than Genty so far. And so I don't want to hear none of this nonsense they talk. When this dude is putting up first round production, then you can talk to me. Like I said, bro, he's David Montgomery. He's going to be wholly dependent on stuff around him. And actually, David Montgomery is 10 times shiftier than Ashton Genty. 10 times shiftier than Ashton Genty. So they're about the same speed, but David Montgomery actually got like, he'll put you in the blender and get on. I ain't seen Genty do that yet.
Not even one time. 200 plus touches this season. We're not seeing the number 6 overall pick. Even, and I'm saying flashes. I just want to see flashes. A couple times a game, here and there. We don't even see that, and that's fine. Like people that want to continue with Genty, you keep doing. You keep holding on hope. That's cool. You do you, and let's see. But Bay Area in the building. What's going on? We're going to say what's up to everybody else that's rocking with us. Brandon Simple. I have defended Genty, but he did miss a couple of opportunities for big runs today. And it's been a couple every single week. I show all of his runs. I don't just show 1 or 2 or just pick on him. No, I purposefully show all of his runs. So not only can you guys see it, but there are 2 to 3 opportunities every single game that is clear as day that he has the opportunity to, instead of rushing for 30, he could rush for 60 or 70, and he doesn't take it. And I think the NFL, coming from the Mountain West, I think the NFL is just too fast for him right now. Could he adjust over time? Maybe. But as it stands right now, I think the NFL is too fast and he's not processing quick enough. And it's showing. He's not taking advantage of the opportunities that are sitting right in front of him. But Brandon, I appreciate, I think people are starting to come to it. Some people aren't, and that's fine. That's fine. They can kind of sit where they are and have fun with it. Rosetown, what's happening, brother? Appreciate you rocking with us. We got Will Diggs in the building. You guys going to pick Indiana quarterback with the number 1. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Definitely a lot to talk about the offseason. We want to talk about just this game. But, obviously quarterback is going to be a hot topic, man. So I appreciate it. Herman in the building. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you. Almond Glaze. Oh, let's see. Almond Glaze in the building as well. Just saw that Bijan T, and I see what you're talking about. I appreciate it. He saw the defense collapse, made a slight step to the left, and took it to the house at the end of the day. Our team is out. He did. That's a really good example. Bijan, the offensive line, the defense closed everything in front of him, and he was the one that set up the defenders. They collapsed in. Bang, he broke it out. That's a good example of a running back creating his own success. And that's what I just want to see Genty do. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Death Pile Picker, what's going on, man? You're saying I'm worried about the Chiefs game. We will face Minshew. I know. We just talked about it a little bit earlier. We'll see how that works.
Rough.
I know.
We got Kenny Pickett. I don't know.
We got Kenny Pickett. Ready, Pete? You're hitting that hashtag Raiders. Keep our pick or move down for more. Kind of don't want to give away that number one pick as of now. Like, we'll do more research. If you guys know, we're going to break down some game film and really see what's out there. Yes, there's a lot of people like Mendoza, they like Dante Moore, but you also got to take a look at what the other prospects are out there, and you want to get really just good value at that pick. It's not about that shiny object. It's about picking the right value at that position that's going to help your team, the team success, not the position success. So, and hopefully after this, we'll do a better job at processing that. All right, so let's do this. I do want to talk about Kenny Pickett. All right, Severe, we'll kind of get into the stats and everything. Oh, I'm sorry. Shit, before that, let me just throw one thing out there. But before we go forward, guys, double tap that screen.
Hey,
you guys like it?
Hey, Money Chuck, name the time and the place, bro. Name the time and the place,
Money Chuck.
Name the time and the place, bro.
You
ain't said nothing but a word, bro. Hey, I give you full opportunity. Hey, we can meet at a game. I will drive to Vegas just for this. Let me know.
Money Chuck. That's all right. I think I saw him. I think I saw him. I'm not giving him too much time anymore. But I think he said coming from the guy that thinks Meredith is a quality starter. So
at guard,
he's talking to me.
At guard, he was.
So everybody knows, Money Chuck. I know we went back and forth. Now this is the last time I'm going to talk about it. This year, I blame a lot of the issues of the offensive line on the coaching. Okay. Last year, I told you. Go find me some clips out of the 571 snaps that Meredith had to give up 0 sacks. 0 sacks, mind you, okay? 0. Out of the 64 starting guards in the National Football League, you're telling me that he couldn't have been one of them? 0 sacks. Don't even show me plays because you're not going to find one. I did my homework. Don't worry. You're not going to find one last year. And I'm talking about 2024 season. This year's different. Go find me one article. We'll be on here for a minute. Money Chuck, put the link in the chat, okay? And outside that, then shut your ass up from this point forward. Put a link in the chat of last year's performance of Jordan Meredith that someone said he is not a starting guard in the National Football League. From last year. Just one article. Find it. We'll be on here. Outside of that, you can shut your ass up about Jordan Meredith's performance last year. This year, different story. I blame a lot of it on coaching, but we'll go that route. That's all I'm doing. And we're going to go from there. Until you can find it, bro, then we'll have an educated conversation. Because at that point, you can't give me a link, then I know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Exactly. Moving forward. Your Genty takes are wild, and I'm going to leave it there.
It's been wild since preseason. Oh, he told us to wait. When we were preseason, just wait till Genty starts playing. Then you guys, now it's everything else around you. You weren't saying this. You weren't singing this tune in the beginning of the year. You were just telling us to wait until the season starts and he proves all of us wrong. Yeah. And now that he's confirming everything that we said, now it's everything else around him. I don't want to hear the nonsense. And I've seen plenty of running backs to Marelli. I've seen plenty of running backs be productive with mediocre lines. Plenty of running backs be productive with mediocre lines. And when you're drafted at 6, that is the expectation. So I don't want to hear that, if we set him up to fail, yada. No, because nobody was singing this to him before the season. Nobody was saying Genty's not going to be good because of his offensive line. Genty's not going to be good because of this, not going to be good because of that. They were saying he's generational, he's special. Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson, some people said, nobody said any of these other things. Now that he's not being productive, all you hear is excuses. That just lets me know that he ain't that guy. That just tells me if he needs all this around him to be good, then he ain't that guy. To even show flashes, like, he's broke these bro, I don't care about it. Make some people get extra yardage. Like, don't just I could run through an arm tackle or two and fall forward. Like, I don't want that. That's not a great running back. A great running back is going to evade those guys and then get positive yardage, not get tackled on a second contact. Like today, he got tackled in the backfield by Cooper DeJean. Like, Cooper DeJean. I
Oh,
like
that was the
it,
one that
man.
I thought it was going to happen. That was the one run. He broke it outside. He saw it. He broke it outside. And I thought that was going to be the run. If he breaks that tackle,
We can make it happen,
he's going
money.
to be good.
Hey,
He's
it's
going to be
your
good.
world. It's your world, man. We can make it happen.
Apparently, we
can
just
make it
live in
happen.
it.
We just,
Apparently, we just live in
you
it.
don't have to hope. We can literally make it happen. It's not a hope or a wish. Name the time and the place.
Oh man, Money Chuck. We're gonna leave it there. Here we go. Just Joe. It's only 1 year. If you're talking about Genty, you're right. Like, look,
It's only 1 year.
It's just 1 year. We'll kind of see how it plays out. We're just telling what we see right now, which is why the running game as a whole is struggling. So It's just 1 year. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll see just kind of how the offseason works, how he adapts and stuff like that. But right now, it's just not looking how everybody was thinking it was going to pan out by picking the shiny object at number 6. We'll see how it works out, though.
And nobody's saying he's a bust or he's never going to be productive. It's just that when you're drafted at 6, the expectation is that you elevate those around you. You make your guys right. And what he's been doing is, like, when there's holes, like we've shown clips, watch our film shows where there's literally holes directly in front of him. And he elects to go the opposite direction. You literally, like, you would have to, like, he's done things where you would literally have to go out of your way to get tackled. And he does it. Literally, like, just run straight and you're getting positive yardage. And he's like, man, I got to go this way. Like,
I'm going to go into the defender. Wait, this body is over here. Let's go get it. Let's go get it.
It doesn't make any sense, man. It makes no sense.
Oh, man. 30 yards last week, 35 this week. It's a rough go. What up, Rafa, man? Appreciate you popping in here. Hey, make sure you guys go hit up Rafa's channel, man. He's always going live, man. Salute to you. Appreciate you popping in here. John Fallon, what's going on, man? What would you pick to be our head coach? I like Clinton Kubiak. Severe, I know you like Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
I think you're a fan of him. And so
Mike.
Was it Mike?
Mike is the brother, I want to say. Matt is in Green Bay.
And look, both of them great history, stuff like that. I think it's just preference at that point. But both of them have really good history in the NFL, and I think that they could be both good candidates. I like Kubiak, but again, a young offensive-minded head coach, I wouldn't be mad at. But Kubiak would be my first go. But I got to say what's up to this guy, because as soon as it happened in the game, I knew he was going to be here. And shout out to him.
Oh yeah,
I talked to some of my now.
Yeah. Hey man, he had TFL, and he had that really good play on Hurts where he was spying him. Well, I think it was I saw it down, right? And he made him throw that errant pass to Bigsby, and Bigsby dropped it. I was like, all right, Tommy, all right, big Ami out there look at you out there making plays on defense, dog. Let's go, Tommy, my arch nemesis.
So look, Coach, shout out to you. Hey, he showed some flashes. So for you on Wednesday, I'll bring them up. We'll show the crowd, man. Tapping it was on Wednesday, man. I'll do it for you. All right, Brimblum, what's going on? I see you in the building. Appreciate you rocking out here. Let's see. Who else is in here?
That is my relative. It's my literal cousin. It was his birthday. The only reason I'm not cooking him because it's his birthday.
Is it Brimblum? Really?
Yeah, that's my. It's my. So the only reason I ain't cooking him because it's his birthday. I'm gonna get him in person though. I'm gonna get him in person. We're gonna get offline. I'm gonna get offline.
I love it. All right, so let's do this. Okay. Let's see. PDL. I can't argue with any of that. We're all just arguing around here. El Campo, what's going on, man? Shout out to you. Hey, we got Loon in the building. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you rocking in here, man. Toasty topics. You have the worst O-line in NFL history. No running back ever has success by a bad O-line. That's why we only want to see flashes. That's it. We do have a bad O-line. We're not going to disagree with that. There's no disagreement there. What up, Jason? What's happening, brother? What is going on, man? All right, cool. I'll get to the rest of everybody in just a second, but let's get to the next topic, guys. Let me know what you think. I definitely want to wait to get Severe's take on this. But really the big bright spot from last week was Cedric Jackson. And no Cedric Jackson. Deontay Thornton, I think, was activated off of the concussion, I think. Yeah. I don't think I saw him on the inactive list. We broke down just the route that he had late in the game when the defense is trying to keep everything in front, and he was able to kind of get behind the defense. Really good route by the young kid. I definitely wanted to see more of like a 70-30 with Tyler Lockett. I wanted to see that kid just get some burn, right? Just let's see what we have out of him, and we can maybe prioritize him before the season end and really get him on that to that 53 and see what he's got.
Yeah.
Didn't see him at all. Which I think it just kind of goes to the narrative, unfortunately, that they're just not looking to develop young players. Caleb Rogers, he had a rough day today, but at least he's playing. At least we're trying to get him some time, or we're trying to see what we got in him. We're trying to develop him a little bit. But we got to remember, the only reason why Caleb Rogers, I think, is playing is because of injuries that have happened to offensive line. Exactly. Meredith was out. JPJ's out. Putnam is god-awful. But the only reason why Caleb Rogers is getting some burn now, I think, is because of the injury. So why don't we see Cedric Jackson? Chat, let me know. I'll try to bring it up. But Severe, yeah, any clue as to why we just don't see this damn kid based on what he did last week?
It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense at all. Not his first NFL catch is a touchdown on they're playing off coverage, so it's in a scenario where you would think it would be difficult to catch a long touchdown pass. They're doing what they can to take that away, and he sets up the route nicely. Understands the positioning of the players on the field. Kenny Pickett delivers a nice throw. It's a catch for a touchdown. Let these guys try to do that again a little bit. I don't see why he's not on the football field consistently. He's probably, outside of Trey Tucker, he's probably our most athletic, dynamic, player. Dante Thornton has good straight line speed, but he's not a guy that moves laterally very quickly at all, as evidenced by his route running. So Cedric and Trey are probably the only two guys we have that can do that. And to not try to take advantage of them, at least on some short stuff, if you don't feel, hey, you know what, we can't take 5-7 step drops because his pass rush might get to us. We're dealing with the offensive line. Okay, man, give him some stuff where some catch and run opportunities like that. Do that. But to not see him on the field at all, man, it's ridiculous. And it just shows you that Pete Carroll, he cannot be the coach next year. He cannot be the coach. And I've been a guy that, I don't want to see all these changes and all that stuff, but he cannot be the coach next year. I saw the post-game presser. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's bad.
He was he said he didn't think the team would be this bad because he's never coached a bad team like this before. I'm like, bro, that's not how this works. Did you know? That's not how just because you've never had a team this bad in the past doesn't mean you can't now. It's not a non sequitur. You feel me? That's not aligning. So his decision making is horrible. That they're going for it on the fourth down is just desperation move, and it's just, bro, just get the season over with to get this guy out the building.
I'm with you. That pressure was brutal. That pressure was brutal without question. And I want to respond to this. Toast topics. I think Raiders management did Jency disservice by drafting him.
They did themselves a disservice by drafting him.
Yeah, but you could be right in a sense that because it just wasn't worth the draft pick, right? You don't pick somebody that high when you have so many issues, and then you don't address the issues. So I'm with you. Just could have been a disservice as a whole. LS in the building. What's going on, man? And this was a wild comment by LS yesterday. I went live yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said didn't have to clap. He basically put, God, LS, how'd you put it? Basically, it's like putting shit in your hand and clapping. And I was just like, God damn it, man. I was like, I've never heard that one before. And I was like, that was brutal. That was brutal. I almost didn't get through the whole live after that.
LS, man.
It's funny shit. So I see this. Man, just the Star Assembly. D-Star Assembly. I think that's it. Caleb John's my guy. Still need help in the secondary, and that's the dude. Has an amazing sight as well as one of the best tackling techniques I've seen in the NFL. I know some people are high on him, so we'll definitely take a look at that. We're going to break down college prospects.
Trade back scenario.
Yeah.
I can see, impact safety. like it's almost, we took a non, like foundational position when we drafted Bowers, and it worked out. We did it with Genty. So far, it hasn't working out. So if we do that again, like, it could. At the time, he might very well be the best player on the board. But then we also have to make a decision at that time. Do we do this again, where it's like, we draft a safety, unless you feel he's going to make like a Kyle Hamilton type impact on your team, where he's playing at all three levels, playing in a nickel, doing all this stuff. And I don't know at the NFL level, is he capable of playing it in a nickel? Is he like a Derwin James type of guy? Like, that's the kind of guy he would need to be to justify picking him top 10. And, he's very good, but I don't know if we're in position to take a safety. That, in my opinion, that's still kind of a luxury.
Yeah. We're going to beat this pretty bad. And the thing is Toast Topics are saying, name a running back that was good behind a ranked offensive line in the NFL in the entire history of the NFL. Oh, wait. It's severe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to say this. You're missing the point. We're not saying Genty needs to be great. We're saying we just need to be flashes of it. It's a bad offensive line. We're not saying he needs to be great behind a bad offensive line. We need to pay attention to what we're talking about. And we need to understand the message that we're sending. So I hope Toasty Topics and everybody else, I hope you guys follow along at this point. We're not saying he needs to be great. We're not even saying he needs to be good. We're saying that he needs to show flashes of why he's going to be great when all of a sudden we get a good offensive line. When the good offensive line hits, I want to see the flashes of him being good now. Just the flashes of it. It doesn't have to be great. Yeah. So that's it. Like, I don't know how else to like explain it to everybody.
I think Genty has, does he have, how many 20-yard plus runs does he have? Does he have just a one all year? 120-yard plus run all year? The Chicago one? Is that the only one he's had the entire season?
I think it's the only one. I think so. Yeah. It's
one entire season. Trevion had 2 today for touchdown. You feel me? It's like, like, show something. And one of them, he was boxed off. They closed on the play. He made a move, cut back, outran the defender, and he went for a touchdown. But Drake May helped him downfield to score. He laid the last block, but he created, it was a 60-something yard play. He created like 54 of the yards himself. And then Drake May helped him get the last 10. So it's like we have to see that kind of stuff where he's creating for himself, not wholly depending on everybody around him. And there's been opportunities where he's had, like he didn't even have to create for himself. He just had to make the right decision, make the right read, and he's there. And he's not doing that. We need to get him out of his zone scheme. He needs to have a dedicated running lane for him to go through, because his decision-making on these plays is not good. We need to tell him, hey, you know what? You're running through this gap. We're going to set you up to run through this gap. You run here. Because obviously we thought he was going to have elite vision, and maybe just the Mountain West, it was different. The speed of the game is different for him. He's not making it. He's tiptoeing behind the line. The 805, I mean, Chris talked about it all the time. These guys were, there were DBs coming forward to smack running backs in the running game. What you want is your running back to stop his feet behind the line of scrimmage, or start tiptoeing behind the line of scrimmage. He's tiptoeing like he's Le'Veon Bell. Hey, bro, you're not. You're not at all. And you're Alexander Graham Bell. We about to phone this shit in a minute and get you the fuck out of here.
LS, you said I got barbecued on other channels for calling it a bad pick on draft, and I can only assume what channels you were most likely on. And I think that's the hard part, right? It's like, look, on on all the other bigger channels, the Mitchell Wrens, even I'll say it, I don't give a fuck, like the Graphs and the Wasteds and even the Samoans and stuff like that. On the bigger channels that have a bigger reach, they set that, like, they planted that seed in everybody. They planted that seed that Genty was it. That's got to be the pick, and everybody drank the Kool-Aid, and we got 2 wins. You know what I'm saying? And so it's unfortunate. And I'm sure you probably did, unfortunately, and that's just the reality of just this the YouTube world, the content creating world. You know what I'm saying? There's some bigger voices out there, and shots of them that got bigger channels. That's great. You know what I'm saying? But they were on their high horse saying Genty was going to fix it all, and this is where we sit, dead last in rushing in the NFL. So it's tough. What up, House Junkies in the building? What's going on, man? Francis the Sith in here as well. Appreciate y'all, man. Yes, LS, I told you, less than 10 snaps. Never in doubt. You did. You did, big dog.
Crazy.
LS throwing a super chat out there. I think LS throwing it to Severe, man. I'll let you rock this one out.
I keep saying it, but we got to get rid of Pete now. He's costing us crucial development time for the younger guys. Don't even get me started on pick one. Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Like, I just think that because of the reverence that the league has for Pete Carroll, I don't think they're going to do him like that. I think that even going to cause them some hesitation in terms of firing him. It's just been so bad that at this point you have no choice. Like, 8-game losing streak, that's going to likely extend to 10, right? So like it's as bad as it. It's extended to at least to 10. So it's as bad as it can get right now. He obviously is lost. These post-game pressures is just, it's sad to see at this point. Like, he's just a shell of himself. He's at his wit's end. We have no choice. We have no choice. Hopefully he does the noble thing and he realizes that he's done. He doesn't have his fastball anymore. He needs to get up out of there. But he's a competitor at heart. He's a guy that played the game, been coaching the game for a long time, had a lot of success coaching. So he might be a guy that, I can make it right. And so we might have to force him out. But hopefully he sees the writing on the wall and he just steps away and maintains some level of dignity at the end of his career.
Yeah, and shout out to Toast Topics. Appreciate you and Scott Roddick, salute fellas, man. I was at the game today, and to watch the Eagles rush for and still get to pick it when the Raiders were in a max protect is truly pathetic. And we're going to get into the kind of stats of it, and even with Kenny Pickett, that is somewhat of a mobile quarterback, right? It's still like I think that's the tough part is. In the NFL, these edge rushers, these defensive linemen, they are athletic. Like, you're not going to have just a semi-mobile quarterback and be able to run all over the place. I mean, these are fast, athletic human beings. And so even with a guy like Kenny Pickett that can move around a little bit, it's going to be tough. But we'll talk about Kenny Pickett in just a second. But hey, shout out to you, man, for going out there in the cold, man. I saw Jeff was out there doing some lives. I was like, damn, bro, it's cold as shit.
I think Jeff, Meyer was out there. Jeff sent me a picture of him and Meyer. I think they met up. It's like a meet and greet out there, and they met up.
I saw that.
Hey, man, salute to the people. Look, man, you guys are better than me. You guys are better than me. Salute to you guys still spending money to go support this team and go out in a frigid cold and in a hostile environment in a situation where it's very likely we're going to get our asses whipped. You still go out there and support, man. Hey, power to you guys. If we can get that same dedication in Vegas, we can build a beautiful thing down there. But unfortunately, when you're on the West Coast, baby, you gotta win. you gotta win to generate some kind of attention, man. So or have a star player. Which is why Mendoza could possibly, maybe that might build some excitement. I don't know, because he's not the most charismatic guy. So I don't know, but I don't know, man. I just we want to build a really good following in Vegas, man. But at how this team has currently been playing, I don't see it happening anytime soon, man.
Yeah, and shout out to LS, man. Appreciate you throwing a super chat out there. And this was LS's comment yesterday, which was wild.
Hey, man, you did not have to clap at all.
Thank God you did. Oh man, let's see, Jason. You're saying I'm high on him. If we fall to in next 3 weeks, then maybe take him 4 or 5. Are you talking about
Caleb Downs?
Caleb Downs?
I'm assuming that's why his name is Raiders First Downs, possibly, or maybe that's just crazy coincidence. Maybe
it's a crazy coincidence.
Hey, but that is amazing right there. That is amazing right there. It's a double entendre. That's nice. I like that, man. I like that double entendre right there.
Oh man, Alec, appreciate you popping in. The Raiders have checked out like Devin White today. I know I gotta watch more of it. I'll be honest. I was watching it, but kind of going in and out. We'll see just Devin White. I'm hearing he's pulling up on things and stuff like that. So we'll definitely see.
I saw the play where Max got mad at him. And I don't want to say, I gotta look at it again. I gotta look at the all-22 because it looked like Max low-key took the wrong decision too, and he kind of left Devin. I don't know if he's expecting Devin to clean up them because Max jumped inside again instead of keeping contained. And I don't know if he's expecting Devin. Maybe he communicated pre-play what he's going to do, and he expected Devin to protect him outside, and Devin didn't on that. I think it was the second play to Goddard. So I don't know if he's expecting Devin to clean up that mess because it was Devin out there. I think Jeremy Chin was over there too. And if Max would have kept stringing that thing outside, like they probably get a tackle at the line of scrimmage, possibly a tackle for loss. Instead, Max tries to make a hero play, and he jumps inside, and then they take it outside, and Goddard outruns Devin White, which he shouldn't be outrunning Devin White. So I can understand his anger there, but. No, that was on Max too, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go back up to the other comments, but I want to put this one. I'm scrolling through, starring some stuff. But 7th and 7, I appreciate you clearing that up because if you didn't, I don't know because I don't really watch those guys. And so if Simone didn't say it, I just kind of put them on there because I know a lot of people were doing that. So if you didn't, I appreciate you clearing that up. I know others have, without question, but I appreciate you clearing that up. Let's see, real quick. Yeah, Barry Sanders was one for sure. Bad offensive line. He made his success. And then Severe, I'm only doing this. You got your cousin. If you want to respond to your cousin, I'll give you the floor for just a little bit while I go through these comments and star some others.
No, yeah, I'm missing the point. How can he show flashes when he's getting hit by? He's not getting hit whenever he hits the ball. That's the problem.
Not always. There are times, but not always.
Yeah, there are plays where he gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. Part of that is because he's not being decisive enough when he gets the ball in his hands and he's tiptoeing to the line of scrimmage. But there's also plays where there's been running lanes for him to take. There's been cutback lanes for him to take. There's been opportunities to bounce runs outside, and he hasn't done it. Possibly because he can't, or he doesn't. Bouncing outside, I don't think he has the speed to be the guy to the edge. I've said that several times, and I think his unwillingness to do that kind of shows that. So he tries to take a direct path instead of outrunning guys to the edge, because he's talking about before. We've heard him say it, man, these guys on the edge, they're some of the best athletes in the league. Like, well, there's some good athletes on the edge, but bro, like, there's some linebackers that are that fast too. There's some safeties that are that fast too. So if you thinking these guys are quick, wait till you get past them on the run, and you'll really see some fast guys. So like it's he has to create, and 805 has said it perfectly. He has to create his own magic sometimes. And the best guys are able to create their own magic. They're able to set up blockers, set up defenders, and make the blockers right even when they're wrong sometimes. And Genty hasn't shown the ability to do that. He hasn't even shown the ability to make the guys right when they are right. Right? He's made them wrong in situations where they've set him up for good plays. So we got to stop making excuses for him, bro. Because nobody was saying this stuff pre-draft. Everybody was saying how great he was going to be pre-draft. And they still keep saying how great he's going to be because that was the built-in, that's the brainwashing we went through. So we kept hearing, well, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. So you guys are preconditioned to say he's a good player. And if he isn't good, it's because everything around him. No, I mean, he may just not be good. He may just not be good. And I don't say he's not good yet. We haven't made that declaration yet. But if this continues, then you're going to have to start saying that.
Yeah. And look, we were good with T-Mac. I would have been okay with T-Mac.
I wanted T-Mac.
But I always contemplated on trading back, though. And I always got screwed in our mock drafts. I never got a good trade back. But my first move this upcoming season was trade back or get off the tackle. I'd like T-Mac. It was off the tackle or T-Mac. And so, we'll see. We'll see how we run. Man, I see how we figured the draft out this year. Jason Downs, our run game is worse. I apologize for Samir.
Look. If Zamir White was in the game doing the exact things that Genty is doing, people would be screaming from the rooftops how terrible Zamir White is. We saw some of this last year, and that's what I told people last year. Like not until we actually set up the alignment when we had JPJ at center and Meredith playing really good at left guard. For anybody else saying he was playing really good at left guard last year. When we got that alignment, we were getting production out of Amir Abdullah and Sincere McCormick. So and down the stretch, we actually ran the ball okay. Like not good, but okay. Better than we saw in the beginning of the season. But in the beginning of the season, Zamir White was seeing a lot of the same thing we're seeing right now out of Ashton Genty. But people just said he sucked. So, they blamed him instead of blaming the offensive line. But now that it's Ashton Jeanty, we took him at 6, and he's supposed to be this and supposed to be that. Well, then now it's everything around him instead of actually him. So that's the double standard you're seeing.
And one thing to keep in mind, and I've said this before, is that Jeanty has to be even greater when you pick him at number 6. Because when you pick him at number 6, everybody is going to say Jeanty's going to get the ball. Now, the focus of your offense is going to run through Jeanty. And so it forces him, it's the pressure on him that he has to be even better than expectations at times, because everybody knows. I mean, everybody that loves Jeanty or doesn't, right? You've heard since the moment we drafted him that Jeanty needs to touch the ball 27 to 30 times a game. We've got to get Jeanty the ball. You have to get Jeanty the ball. It's not like a tight end or receiver where you can move them around. You can motion them. You can set up matchups, right? You can, and a receiver only needs to catch the ball maybe 6, I don't want to say that number because people are going to go crazy, 7 to 8 times a game, right? I'm going to go 7 to 8 times a game. My kids might be watching, but a receiver out of the 60 plus plays that an offense potentially has in a game, offensive plays, a receiver might get the ball 8 times, 9 times if you're picked number 1, right? And that's good. You're targeting him. He's getting his catches. That's it. A running back, 95% of the time, lines up in the backfield. So you know where that running back is going to come from when he gets the ball. So the defense can focus on that guy. When the defense already knows the game plan is to get him 27 to 30 touches a game, you've already given up your game plan for the most part. And so that's why it puts even more pressure when you pick a running back at 6. It's already hard enough to defeat an NFL defense, and now you're putting that much more pressure on the running back position. So Jeanty has to be even greater than some people expect, because the defense is going to be focused on him in that one position, knowing that he's going to get the ball 35% of the time, 40% of the time. And that's just what makes it that much difficult. And that's why I'm not an advocate of picking a running back that high. One of the reasons is because you're giving your offensive game plan away to the defense. So you better be not only damn good as a running back, but that offensive coordinator better be so damn good at scheming that player open and putting them in situations to succeed that it's a lot of pressure. And so it's tough.
Come back on Wednesday for my To Kill a Mockingbird reference, LS.
All right. All right. Again, it's just another reason why I'm not a fan of picking a running back that high, but we'll see. Pigs. You're saying I'm not rooting for Pete at this point. Yeah, and PDL. I'm thinking Pete will not want round 2. I know he seems so deflated, which is tough. Yeah. Raider Nation Jason, break out the projector. It's time.
Oh man.
All right, Ellis, we're gonna have to carry Pete out. He's gonna leave on his own accord. You don't have to go home, big guy. You can't stay here. I know.
Hey, Shady Acres retirement home.
Right. All right, John Fallon. The fact that we have less than 100 yards on offense is pathetic. We're going against the number 1 defense next week. Good God help us. That 75 total offensive yards today.
It's crazy.
75.
Crazy.
That's wild. I don't care how bad you are or what the conditions are. 75 yards of offense is out of control. Casey, what's going on? Appreciate you popping in here. First, got to say, go Birds. I honestly thought Pickett was going to kill it. All right. But it's Kelly, bro. He got to go. Should pick up Mike Vick. I don't know where you're going. Mike Vick might be the only one that could actually do a little something behind this offensive line.
I hope. I mean, they're not Raiders fans, so they may not know that Chip Kelly got fired weeks ago. We've had some of our worst offensive performances since he was gone.
I know. It's rough. Delgado. Delgado in the building. What's going on, man? Appreciate you rocking in here. Ellis, I got no idea how people are still spending money. Yeah, I'm ready to send the Raiders my invoice for my time. Look, shout out to everybody that still does it. You know what I'm saying? But it's you do you. Hey, I'm not gonna clown anybody for spending money. You spend your money however you want to spend your money.
You got it like that. Hey, do you think?
Yeah. So, okay. Man, I'm late on the chat. I'll kind of get down there. So let's do this. Obviously, with the game, let me pick up the box score a little bit. We'll just go through some of the stats. Not a whole lot to see. Obviously, it was a tough go. If you guys can see all this, so we're gonna go through it. First downs, seven first downs for the Raiders, 27 for the Eagles.
Wow.
The Eagles controlled the time of possession. Their drives, I felt like their drives are just so methodical, moving their way down the football field. But for 7 first downs versus 27 with the Eagles, obviously that is not going to work at all. Good thing. I don't know what the penalties look like. Let me look at first down from penalties. We got one that got 3 third down efficiency, 3 of 12. They were 10 for 13. We're not going to spend too long on this. 42 plays for us, 66 for the Eagles, total yards 75 to 387.
God.
Yards per play 1.8 to 5.9. Passing yards 29. Completions 15 completions to 25. I mean, obviously Hurts wasn't much better, but they ran the shit out of the ball against us. Obviously, you can see it here. Rushing, we had 46 on our end to 183. We had 3 penalties for 39. They had 3 for 35. So, really, nothing there. Kenny Pickett did have his interception, right?
Yeah, Zach Bond got him on the pass to Brock.
But time of possession is just nasty. 20 minutes to their 39. They basically doubled our time of possession. You can't win in that way. The defense obviously on the field a lot. And if Devin White is showing signs of really just pulling up and giving up on some plays, I think it's tough. Obviously the maxxcrosby situation of them kind of getting after each other on the sideline. Don't know what it's about. I think that was on the play that Saquon broke it outside. And there was and someone lost contain. Looked like Max got hooked a little bit, got sealed off. But obviously there needs to be help coming. I don't know where it was supposed to come from. We'll break that play down. But I don't know if that was the play that they decided to kind of jaw at each other a little bit. But look, Kenny Pickett. We'll talk about Kenny Pickett just for a minute, guys. Do me a favor, hit that hashtag Raiders if you guys have a comment to this, or if you guys have kind of feedback on what we're talking about. Let me know. I'll try to bring it up. Hit that hashtag Raiders. The chat's flying with over 150 in the building. I do my best to try to get through everything. Let me know what you guys think on this. Hit that hashtag Raiders. I'll definitely try to bring it up. Definitely appreciate it. But Kenny Pickett, I know a lot of people were talking about Kenny Pickett going against his old team. He's a little bit mobile, so it might help him and stuff like that. Severe, I'm going to throw it to you first before I can give you my thoughts. What are your thoughts on just Kenny Pickett, his performance, and what you thought Kenny Pickett might do this game?
Yeah, I try to temper everybody's expectations. Like it's been doing all week. It's like, yeah, bro, this is Kenny Pickett we're talking about, right? Like I kept trying to tell people that, and they're like, oh no, he can do this and do that, and people saw like he had a solid showing and basically garbage time against off coverage. So people were excited, much like I warned people about Jack Besh. I was like, hey, now when they actually have to show him attention, he's not going to be the same guy. I said the same thing about Darren Porter. When he's actually playing somebody that's better than Cortland Sutton, he ain't going to be the same guy. And so it's like we have to be careful of like taking these very small sample sizes or taking these situations where, a certain player has all these advantages or it doesn't have to deal with any of the normal adversity they would have to deal with, and then kind of extrapolating that and saying that's who they are, right? Like that's not what we saw last week from Kenny Pickett is not who Kenny Pickett is. We have plenty of evidence of the kind of player that Kenny Pickett is. And that's why he's been on like 4 teams or 3 teams in 3 years or something like that. So like that's exactly why. So it's I wasn't expecting much. I expected better than this, but I wasn't expecting much. But you complete 25 passes and you're for less than 75 yards, bro. That is all time bad. all time.
Yeah, 15 completions.
15. Oh, 15. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, sorry. It in this vertical, it shortens it up.
I don't got my glasses on. So.
But I think the biggest thing with Kenny Pickett going against the Eagles is the conditions are going to play a role, right? For any passing game, it's going to be tough. But it's Kenny Pickett going against still one of the better defenses in the NFL, even with some of the injuries, like Jalen Carter wasn't playing, but even with some of the injuries, it's still a really good defense. But not just a good defense, but it's Vic Fangio. It's Kenny Pickett versus Vic Fangio, and I'm going to take Vic Fangio any day of the week, every day of the week. And that's kind of what we're going up against. And the thing about with Kenny Pickett, he looked pretty inaccurate. The throws really weren't on the money a lot of the time. The timing with the receivers just looked off, unfortunately. But Vic Fangio was going to scheme against Kenny Pickett. I heard some people talk on other channels saying that, but Kenny Pickett knows Vic Fangio's defense. Well, Vic Fangio knows Kenny Pickett.
Exactly.
And I will take his scheming against Kenny Pickett over what Kenny Pickett might do to him. And so, in the same breath, I did say that, look, a backup quarterback might come in.
This is hilarious. This is hilarious.
Yeah, they took it to him.
South Park style. Anybody watch South Park, they know what's up with that.
They killed Kenny.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
I got it now. So, and that's the hard part, right? Kenny Pickett, he could have come in and gave a little bit of a spark. May have put up, maybe 14 points, tops maybe 17, just because he gave a little bit of a spark. But at the end of the day, if I were to bet money, my money is without question going on Vic Fangio and that defense that he's going to scheme up against Kenny Pickett. Plus, given the fact, bad offensive line, no running game, bad receiver weapons. Brock Bowers is basically the only true weapon that he has to throw to. And so it was going to be a tough go. So it's not surprising that Kenny Pickett struggled the way he did. But even some of the offensive linemen that looked good last week, like Caleb Rogers. Caleb Rogers looked decent 2 weeks ago. He looked pretty good last week, but then just fell off. And again, I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, to be dead honest. It could have been the cold, that he just wasn't adapting well. Obviously, anytime you go to the East Coast, it's a tough game when you're a West Coast team. And so we'll just kind of see. But it was good to see him in there. What are your thoughts on Caleb Rogers, Severe?
Yeah, he struggled. He struggled. It was a few times where, I think like the first sack of the game, I want to say, I assume it looked like Kappa was expecting help. And Caleb Rogers ended up blocking nobody. And then, Kappa got beat to his right for, and it resulted in a sack. And then there was a few other plays where it was just, you can see like, physically he's not quite there yet, which is rookie. It's kind of to be expected. But, guys walking him back, guys beating him up, guys beating him with speed and with strength. So, but he's a rookie. These are the experiences you want him to get now. So now he can get into the off season and see, hey, I got beat this way, I got beat that way. Now I know what I need to improve, right? So let him take these lumps now. It's a lost season. What are we not? What are we saving him for? Charles Grant, get him out there too. Why are we revving Colton Miller up? And get Charles Grant on the field. See what he has. Let him get some experience. Let him get some run. It makes no sense for these guys not to be playing.
Yeah. And Coach, John, you're saying, but seriously, can we talk about how there's a lot of players and coaches the NFL praises wouldn't be shit if they were the silver and black because it's just tougher to win as a Raider. That's a really good comment because it's something that I said in the live that I did yesterday. Is as much as I can do my evaluations, there's players that I like, right? In one of our mock drafts, I drafted Will Campbell last year because my intention was to push DJ Glaze down, put Will Campbell at right, and then he could be the next guy when Colton Miller moves on, right? So you kind of have that guy that's going to potentially fill in the role. Now, he's doing good in New England. But with this offensive line coach, I probably would have looked like an absolute idiot if we drafted him because he probably would not look very good over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that is the hard part on evaluating players when it comes to the Raiders, because you just don't know. And that's the case. You know, a lot of players can come here and they just don't thrive because we have shown to be just a bad organization on developing players and getting the best out of them at times. And you can say that for everybody, right? Like, you could say that we did Genty a disservice by not addressing the O-line properly, right? You could say it in all aspects.
Yeah.
So that's the tough part and that's why, you know what I do like, and as I said it before, I like it when the players that and shout out to you, Severe, right? You liked who was the corner? Eagles. Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon, yeah, last year.
You know, you really liked him a couple years ago. He got drafted by a good organization that knows how to develop players and build through the draft. So that's what I kind of look for. Players that I liked go to teams that know how to build through the draft and develop those players. And at least I knew I was kind of in the right direction of who I liked, right? Obviously not in all cases, but that's kind of how I can somewhat determine if I was at least on the right path of my thought process. But man, Coach, it's a good point. It's something that I've said for a while, and I said it even yesterday. So I don't know. I think we've been beating this one pretty bad, but a couple of people rocking in and Hummer in the building. What's going on, man? Mascot burnt to the outside, back to back, first to his side, then the other side. So yeah, he was not happy. We'll definitely break that thing down. Afkasi in the building. What's going on, brother? Guys, make sure you guys go hit him up. Check out his content, man. Appreciate y'all. Can we just draft a QB for Christ's sakes? Well, at some point in this draft, yes. Yes, we do. All right. We're going to talk about it just for a second. We ain't going to get too deep in it because I think the first 30 hours of this live, we've talked about this topic. But Genty, 9 carries, 35 yards, 3.9 average. 11 was his longest carry. Pickett got a little rushing in there. Dylan Labe, 2 carries for 4 yards. Look, not just in pass blocking, but offensively or in run blocking, I'm sure it looked like the offensive line was struggling without question. We're going to break down the game film. It was only 9 carries. So on Wednesday, we'll show every carry and just kind of see how Genty did, right? Just like we always do. And so we'll take a look at it. But 9 won't take long. That's kind of why we do it. But it's also taking a look at when he actually caught the football. And I think if I remember correctly in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, even in the opportunities that Genty caught the football, and I'll take a look at it. I think
2 for 4 yards.
He had 4 receptions for 7 yards.
4 for 7, okay.
Even in some of the receptions that he had, I think he was getting hit instantly. And so I don't think he had much opportunity to kind of get upfield and really make anything happen. I think he was getting hit pretty quickly when he did get the ball in his hands. And so that's not on him. It's blocking in front of him. And so we'll definitely take a look at it. But 9 carries, 35 yards. We'll break it down. I don't know how much we need to beat this dead horse. It was a struggle without question. A total 75 yards is wild. Severe, any thoughts on just the run game in general?
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, it's terrible. But, they were stomping on us so quickly that, we kind of had to abandon the run pretty early. And then, Kenny Pickett, we were going 3 and out so often that it really like we couldn't establish any kind of anything, right? You complete 15 passes for less than 75 yards. That's terrible. I think Phillip Rivers, he threw for more yardage coming off the sofa. He doubled.
I saw at one point, I think he had 100 yards. It was 100 yards plus at one point. I saw.
I think he threw for like 150. He at least doubled up Kenny Pickett. At least doubled him up against and not only giving those against a damn good defense. A damn good defense.
Yeah.
So I don't want so he came off the sofa. He still got he got the dad bod going, and he came out there chugging it. He was looking like what's the guy? RIP, the guy that used to play for the Giants.
The big boy. You talking about the big boy?
Yeah.
God, I forget his name. He played for Kentucky.
Yes, the hefty lefty.
Yeah.
Damn, what's my guy's name? But Phillip Rivers out there looking like him.
Man.
Jared Lorenzen.
Jared Lorenzen. Yeah.
Jared Lorenzen. Yeah, he was out there looking like him. But 100. I think like 140, 150, something like that, man. And Kenny Pickett couldn't get 70. It was crazy.
I know. So look, it's tough. It's tough to kind of swallow with all this, but we're gonna get down to kind of the receiving yards. What up, What up, Turf? In the building. What's going on, brother?
My dog.
Make sure you guys go hit up Turf.
Turf,
Check him
former
out.
running back himself. Turf told me early on, very early in the process, some of my thoughts. I was asking him, like, am I crazy for feeling this way about this guy, before we drafted him? And Turf, who played the position, played college football at the position. He's like, nah, man. Like, I feel the same way. And that's when I knew, like, all right, like, this guy played the position, played at a pretty high level. He's had some of the same feelings as me. Maybe I'm onto something here.
Yeah, LS supporting this team was like swallowing glass. It's bad now, but it's going to be worse later.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's like the shit in hand and clapping, man. That's wild. Oh, Jesus Christ. Silver and Facts in the building, man. Pick it. Thick it, stick it. It don't matter. Outside the Miracle Week 1 win, we suck ass going to the East Coast for an early game, especially in cold weather period. Gino would have sucked too. Yeah, and the offensive line didn't do him many favors. It was rough, but Kenny Pickett is who he is. Going against and no one expected a whole lot out of Kenny Pickett. At least I think the majority. There were people that have been yelling for Kenny Pickett 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, you could do that, but is it really going to be an improvement? Rorschach in the building. What's going on, brother?
You remember when everybody said that the only reason Genty wasn't good was because we changed the stance? Remember that? Remember that was a thing for a week?
That was a thing. That was a thing.
For 1 week, it was a thing.
Yeah.
And then he went right back to what he was.
That was a thing for sure. Anthony, whatever happened to Dalton Wagner?
I don't know. Yeah, I think we got rid of him. He was on a practice squad, but I think we cut him off the practice squad to make room for some other guys.
Yeah, and man, I was never a Dalton Wagner fan. I know a lot of people want to kind of see him, but I was never a Dalton Wagner fan, man.
What happened to our guy we brought over from Seattle? Remember the tackle we moved to guard that Seattle stole from us, and then we got him back recently? What's my guy's name? McClendon Curtis. McClendon Curtis.
Oh, yeah. That's right. The big boy.
Did we get rid of? We didn't get rid of him. Is he still on the practice squad? I gotta check who's on the practice squad. I don't think so.
I don't know. Man, Shep, you said draft a quarterback and you continue the failure. Yeah, I think the mass majority like certain quarterbacks, but then the opposite. I think there are some people that are willing to trade back, but that's definitely going to be a big hot topic moving forward. Let's see. What a sorry running back room this is. I know it's tough.
Oh my God, it's bottom of the barrel. like Ashton Genty, which we drafted very highly, has been unproductive. Then Raheem Mostert and Dylan Lobby, like this is it's terrible.
Yeah, I know. And let's see. I got money check. It's not biased. Money check is fine. You don't have to watch. That's fine. you go do something with your life. Again.
How can the film be like we actually show the play?
we show every play, but yeah, it's biased.
Plays.
This is stupid. It's just
you're taking me out of context. Stupid. Like this, I'm just replaying your words.
But
they're not like no. The film is the film, man. I'm sorry.
I know. No, go do your thing on Wednesday. Coach Brennan is damn clueless. I know, and that's the hard part, right? I think that's a lot of there's some bad players. Forsyth, not good. Kappa, not good. But when everybody has regressed on this offensive line, it points to one thing, which is coaching. And I think that's what, like the guys from last year, everybody regressed, and it points to coaching. And so at the end of the day, I do think that we need to switch some things up with this coaching staff. Because if Pete Carroll, one big point, if Pete Carroll remains this coach, that means Brendan Carroll stays, which means if you draft an offensive lineman, if you draft an offensive lineman or you bring in a top end free agent that's an offensive lineman, Brendan Carroll is coaching him. And if you think Brendan Carroll is a bad coach, then I think in the same breath we got to say it's time to move on from Pete Carroll because they are definitely a package. So let's see. Oh, and did you hear that apparently Allegiant might be in the running for Super Bowl 2029? That'll be fun.
Oh, that'll be clear.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Let's go. Receivers. All right. Receiving stats. Brock Bowers. 6 receptions, 28 yards, 4.7 carry. Obviously, I think he had one drop. They tried to get him the ball pretty consistently, but it just wasn't. I mean, it was basically anytime Bowers caught the ball, he was instantly tackled. So they really weren't able to kind of get him the ball and then turn and run. And then let's see. We got Jack Besh. It was good to see Jack Besh. Actually, they tried to get the ball early.
Yeah.
But then you saw who he was going up against sometimes. It was your boy Quinion Mitchell, and he just wasn't able. He wasn't able to kind of get loose. And I know last week a lot of people, and it's tough, man. A lot of people, even some of the people that work for the Raiders or work for radio stations that speak with the coaches and are at the pressers, and they said, Jack Besh, breakout game. And we're sitting there going, garbage time.
Exactly.
And the thing is, prove it earlier in the game. Now, he did get 2 catches for 17, but then was non-existent after that. And so we got to look at the film. I definitely want to see, did he actually get open? Did he get separation? We just didn't see him. If that's the case, because I know that last week there was one play that he did a really good job of getting separation on the goal line, and Geno just missed him. And so I want to go back and look at the game film and see, did Jack Besh actually get separation at times? And if he is, and we're just not seeing it, then it does help with understanding that he's doing better. He's getting separation. Sometimes it just doesn't see it in the stats on or on TV because you don't see it in the right light or in the right view. And so I'll definitely go back, look at the game film, and just see, did he get separation at times? And if so, then you can make, and if it's early and it's when the defense is playing honest, then at that time it's like, okay, yeah, time to start looking his way. And so I'll definitely break that down. If I do see moments where he's getting separation, we're just not looking at him, I'll definitely showcase it. But Tyler Lockett, 2 catches for 10 yards. Ashton Genty, 4 for 7. Mostert, 1 catch. And so obviously with a total of 64 yards passing, that is rough. And so, Severe, any thoughts? Chat, let me know what your thoughts are on the let me know what your thoughts are on just the receiver room, the performance. Hit that hashtag Raiders. I'll definitely try to bring it up. Severe, thoughts on the receiver performance?
It was just terrible. Terrible. We have targets to 2 receivers. Exactly, 2 receivers have receptions. Everybody else is either running back or tight end. Yep. Jack Besh, you want to root for the guy. You want him to do well. Seems like a really, really nice guy. Seems like a really hard worker. We heard before the game, and I guess a lot of people were making a big fuss about this, about how like him and Kenny Pickett link up and they watch film, and that's why, and they're good. They get on the same page, and people took that and ran with it. But it's all about talent in the NFL, right? And Jack Besh is a guy that he's a skilled guy. I think he's a guy that, he has a good understanding of football. I think, he's a guy that will do well against zone coverage. I think he'll be good at finding holes in the zones. That's where a lot of his success has been. But when he's manned up against an actual NFL corner, he doesn't have the speed to consistently beat those guys. And it's going to be a tough road to hoe. And I don't know if he's a guy that can win on the outside on a consistent basis. He's probably a guy that has to move to the slot, and he will have to thrive there. But as of now, he's essentially forced to play outside. So it's going to be a struggle for him on most nights because he just doesn't have the requisite athleticism to consistently beat NFL cornerbacks.
And if I consistently see, when we break down the game film, if I consistently see Jack Besh really getting separation, we're just not seeing him, then I definitely want to showcase it, because then it's showing that he has the ability to get that separation, and so, and quarterbacks misreads at times, right? Sometimes there's designed plays to go in a certain direction and it's just not in another, and they miss it. So I definitely I'll definitely pay attention to that and try to showcase it if I see it. What up, Rundown? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you popping in here with us. Arnie, all right, man. I know you like coming with the questions. Who's the most improved player on our offense and defense this year, in your opinion? We'll go offense first. We'll go offense. Most improved offense.
I'm
going to say one name, but it's only because, and and because there's not much to be improved on this offense whatsoever, I think I'd have to say Trey Tucker prior to the Jacoby Myers trade.
Give it to Trey. I give it to Trey. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. He's probably the only guy that had shown any level of improvement at all. Everybody else regressed. Everybody else has regressed. And
Yeah.
you know, and it's sad, man, because now I kind of told people that Brock Bowers was going to take a step back this year. Obviously, he started the year hurt, and then his team is just it's horrible. But you know, I expected some kind of regression this year in terms of production. I expected him to be the same Brock and be athletic and be beating guys on a consistent basis. But I thought that he would show regression because there would be other people getting involved offensively. So like it's more mouths to feed at the table. But he just now he's just getting all the attention, and it's hard to produce under those circumstances. And I was talking to I was telling somebody like they were saying, oh, you know what, like how can anybody be a number one on this team when they're they're not getting the ball or anything like that. I'm like, well, part of being a number one on the team is that you take the attention away and the guys behind you, they produce. But even though Brock is getting this extra attention, the guys behind him still aren't really producing. So and that's the difference between, like somebody asked why would you take a wide receiver at 6? That's the difference between having an elite wide receiver and an elite tight end. An elite wide receiver, he's going to allow those other guys to eat consistently. And Brock, like even though he's an elite tight end, it's only so much he can do because they'll just put a corner on him. And now you're dealing with the corner all day long. And you're going to beat them on some occasions, but you're going to struggle a lot with that matchup, especially a bigger physical corner. So it's tough, man. We're like when even who I think is the best receiving tight end in the league, when even he's struggling in this offense, that lets you know it's just no good. It's no good.
And here's the thing: as much as I'd like T-Mac at 6, right, and some people can make that argument as to if you pick a running back and it's a bad offensive line, why do you pick a running back? And if you pick a receiver, it's still like the receiver and running back positions are complementary positions. Right? The running back needs a good offensive line to reach their the height of their game. Right? The running back needs a good offensive line. The quarterback or the receiver also needs a good quarterback, and in turn, the quarterback needs a pretty good offensive line in order to get the best out of them. Right? But here's the difference in why I'd lean more towards a receiver than a running back is because if I'm going to pick somebody top 10, I am going to target the positions that occupy or take up the most cap space. If you can get a top position on your team, that's quarterback, receiver, left tackle, edge rusher, corner.
Yeah.
Those are 5 positions that you are going to have to reach deep down in your pocket to get a good one. And if you can get a good one in the draft, people don't pay running backs really anymore.
Nope.
You might get that one running back that gets paid, or because it's the final piece of the puzzle to them going to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, right? So they'll pay for that because it's the final piece of the puzzle. But if you're picking top 10, that means you have a lot of pieces missing.
Yeah.
And so the receiver, look at what Jamar Chase just got paid. If you can get a number one receiver and not have to pay that type of money and get it and have a 5th-year option, that's when I would lean more towards getting a receiver than a running back. But even then, if you have offensive line issues, I always lean offensive line. I always lean building the trenches.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I do receiver over running back.
Like, to that point, I want to say T-Mac he's not in the top 10 of receivers. He was the first receiver drafted. He's not in the top 10 of guaranteed money when it comes to receivers. Ashton Genty is second in the league in guaranteed money. Only person that has more guaranteed money is Saquon Barkley. That tells you everything you need to know about how running backs get paid in the NFL.
Yeah. So, okay, in opinion, most improved, I think, defensive player. And I'm going to get to the rest of the chat. Answer this question as well if you can. Most improved defensive player.
Don't do that rundown. Don't do that rundown. Don't do that rundown.
Yeah, rundown. Go if you want to go back and spend an hour before starting this thing. Yeah, we went on a rant.
Was it most improved defensive player?
Most improved defensive player. I'll scroll down to the defenses just so we can put names out there. I have a name in mind, and it may not be a name that might pop out to people, but I got a name.
Obviously it's Tyree. I mean, relative to where they were last year,
that's kind of a tie actually between two. But yeah,
relative to where they were last year, I would say, obviously it's kind of rough coming off the effort questions, but Devin White, just compared to where he was last year, where he was basically unplayable. So this year he's a starter in the league. Jamal Adams, I would say that the position change helps him a lot. And I might go Eric Stokes as well. Go Eric Stokes.
Eric Stokes, he's been playing, I think, better than maybe some people would have projected him originally. Yeah. For me, I think it's John Laulu.
Oh yeah, it's good.
I think he's actually shown that he could be a solid rotational piece. Last year, he rotated in. You saw some flashes, but not enough. Like you just didn't. When the Christian Wilkins shit went down, we went on here and broke down Jonah Laulu and his plays and stuff. And based on what we saw last year, I thought that he could have been a serviceable replacement to start, because we didn't have any options after that Christian Wilkins shit. We had to look inside of our defensive line room and go, who's going to replace it? And it looked like Jonah Laulu was good enough to be the last option to be a starter, and it wouldn't hurt you as much. Not great, but I think he's done enough now to show definite improvement from last year. So I think, in my opinion, I think Jonah Laulu has shown some good things. Let's see. Is anybody Pigs? You got Stokes. I'll ask Thomas Booker. He's never seen so many snaps. He has. He's never seen so many snaps.
Yeah, he had a
tackle today. He had a nice play today.
And he had on the play where Max got the sack. Thomas Booker does what Thomas Booker does, man. And he did not allow Jalen Hurts to step up. And he was just there.
He's stationary.
He was right there. Oh my goodness.
And we said it when we first saw it. Like, Thomas Booker, he won't get pushed back for the most part. I mean, last week he got pushed sideways, which was wild, but he got removed sideways.
Club, man, like you said.
But he won't get pushed backwards too much. But yeah, he has never seen so many snaps. That's right. That's why. What was it? So many snaps, and the Eagles rushed for 183 yards. I don't know. Not saying it was all him, but
yeah.
One good thing is we're seeing some rookies getting reps. JJ Begis was in there. Tonka Hemingway was getting in there. So it's good seeing some young players get some reps.
Hey, get Tommy and get Cody in there, man. At this point.
I know. John Fallon, any good D tackles for ages? I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet, honestly. Like, once the regular season is done and playoffs hit, I'm going to start doing a deep dive on all the free agents. And just a shout out, whether you're a member on my channel or Severe's channel or Chris's, because Chris is going to rock with us. He has some stuff going on. If you guys are a member, you can throw some suggestions on free agent players as well as college prospects that you want us to potentially try to check out. If we get flooded with it, we'll have to just kind of pick. But I'm sure that there's going to be some top names. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be the Mendozas, the Jonte Moores, and I think Bain is a guy that a lot of people like, the edge rusher. So, we'll definitely take some requests. But if you're a member, you'll definitely take priority. It's just something we could do for the members, and just kind of show some love to them. So, Arnie did have one more question. And look, we took a look at the defense. All right, real Severe, quick thoughts on the defense. My only thing is, when you're on the field for so long in that type of conditions, it's tough to continue to really battle when they're methodically moving the ball downfield and you just have no break. 75 total offensive yards means you have just 3 and outs constantly. You're going to get basically worn down, but they didn't start strong either. So I can't completely, take them out the woods. Like, it was bad, but offense didn't do them any favors. So what's your thoughts on defense?
It was terrible, man. Like, they we offered almost no resistance. You know, it's ironic. I think they had two or three conversions of third downs that they didn't get. They were like, what, 10 for 13 or something like that?
Something
Right.
like that.
One of them was Tommy Eichenberg being Superman and being the spy being the spy on Geno and not Geno, on Jalen, and Jalen, you know, hitting Tank Big and Tank Bisbee, if he makes the catch, it's probably a first down. But you know, that was one of them. I can't remember the other one, but the last one was on the goal line where they went for it on 3rd and 4th, and they didn't get it. So those were two. That's the one. That one, the first one were really early in the game, and that one was like their last drive of the game, basically. So like between that, we offered almost no resistance at all. So we got to make stuff comfortable for these quarterbacks. We're not able to do that. We got to have better coverage in the back end. Not able to do that. Like, you know, stopping the run has been something we've been able to do for the most part. But today we couldn't even do that. So it's, you know, when you can't rush the passer or stop the run or cover anybody, you're gonna be in for a long ass day.
It's gonna be a long day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like make any excuses for the defense. You know, you put up 31, and it should have been actually more because Goddard dropped that pass, right? So it should have been more in the end zone. You know, but weather-wise and stuff, and that's why I said this before, Severe, you jumped on, is one of my
that was the other one then. That was the other one then. That was the other one on that drive. They had to kick the field goal.
And my thing is I think that opening drive, the way that the Raiders started the game, was going to be a big indicator how the rest of the game was going to go. Because anytime you have a West Coast team, a dome team, going to the East Coast in cold weather, if you can start strong, I think you can carry that momentum. But if you just come out flat, I think it's going to be flat the entire game. And so it was key that they started the game out strong, and they didn't. And 31-0. Oh, that's Booker is like one of those English king guards. Someone tall black guy.
Cards. Yeah.
Oh man. Arnie, another question: who is better, Geno, Jimmy, or Minshew? Let's see. Seventh Sons of Seven. He already said he says clearly Jimmy. I don't know.
You got to edge it to Jimmy off of basically what he's done in his career. Just you look at what it was done the last 3 years. I think just isolated, you know, in a vacuum, quarterback play. I think those last 3 years Geno had was more impressive individually than anything Jimmy G had. But obviously Jimmy G had a better team, had more success as a quarterback. So you got to go Jimmy just off body of work. But they all got here and suck. So I mean, like there's a common denominator there. They all went to the playoffs a year or two before with other teams,
right?
And get here and
this is what we do. I mean, I agree. Like because of the body of work, maybe it's Jimmy. But the thing is even with those wins that Jimmy had, I think there was a stretch. I think there was a stretch of like 7 games where the Niners won and Jimmy didn't throw a single touchdown. Like the defense was just so good, so good. So you might be able to edge it to give the edge to Jimmy, but you could say you give Geno some really good protection that he can be more of a better passer, just all around passer than possibly Jimmy. But yeah, you know, you take his body of work. Jimmy's got the wins, you know, under his belt. No matter how he got them, he's got the wins. So,
exactly.
But all right, so talk about the defense a little bit. We're gonna go back up to the big screen. We talked a lot. Let me kind of pull this down. We appreciate everybody that has been, man, rocking with us. Moon over. Let's go. Minshew.
Right. Yeah. Less than nothing. He did something. He threw a pick at the end. I'll say end of the game.
Did he throw a pick at the end of the game? I didn't even watch the game.
He did throw a pick. I didn't watch the game either. I saw the highlights when I heard that Pat got hurt. It's sad because he didn't have to get hurt because I think 2 drives in a row they were in field goal range to kick a game tying field goal.
Oh,
so
really?
You know that it's Andy Reid. I mean, obviously putting ultimate faith in Patrick Mahomes, but kick the field goal, man. Take the points in those situations.
Yeah. And look, I hate Patrick Mahomes, but I hate seeing anybody get hurt and go
Facts.
down like that. You know what I'm saying? And so hopefully he heals up and stuff like that. I hate seeing people, get hurt because at the end of the day, you just want to beat them, but you don't need to see careers go down like that. So, but look, SoCal, appreciate you, man. Look, I don't know what Tankathon, because we shouldn't have moved just yet, right? I think Tankathon should still have us at number 2.
Yes, they should have us at number 2 because the Giants are the team that's in front of us. So
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, they
just to be sure. Just to be sure. Yeah, they still got us so far at number 2. So we're still at number 2. Here's the biggest thing: is now we go to Houston. And Houston did work against the Titans. That defense is no joke. And if Kenny Pickett is still a go, I don't know if Geno Smith is going to come back for next week. I see you in the building. What up, Daniel Kim? Appreciate you popping in here, man. The Giants game, I think, as it stands right now, yes, you got the Chiefs with the injury and stuff at the tail end. And I think someone mentioned it. It would be wild. It'd be more of a chess match move by Andy Reid if they literally attempted to tank that last game.
Yeah.
Because if they tank and we win, that could be the difference of us possibly being at number 1 and dropping to like number 4, maybe even 5. And so, do you think we got any chance against Houston next weekend?
Chance to do what?
I don't know. Let's just. Who do you think should?
What's crazy about the Pat Mahomes injury though is that Tom Brady tore his ACL around the same time, they're around the same age when he tore his ACL.
Did he?
Yeah. Remember that's when they implemented that Brady rule where you can't dive at a quarterback's knees.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's right, huh? That is right. I forget when he actually got injured.
It's like I don't remember the year, but I think he was like 30 or 31. Pat is 30. He was like Tom Brady was like 30 or 31.
Yeah. I mean, already throwing the question out. Now with them eliminated, do we win if it's Minshew versus Geno? I was like, honestly, it's in Allegiant. They got our number as a whole, but they got our number in Allegiant. So maybe they beat us. That it basically carries over to the defense. Who has the better defense? And I think that Chiefs defense is going to take it to us.
Even if that is Steve Spagnuolo, they'll score some points.
So it might be like it might be like a 17-6 game.
Yeah.
Something just nasty, boring game, just a defensive battle.
Minnesota versus the Raiders all over again.
Oh God, I was at that game.
You went to that game? Oh my God.
I went to that game.
You need to do what LS said, and you need to send your invoice in for that thing.
I went to that game, and I'm telling you, and it sucked because you're still, because it was 0-0, you're on the edge of your seat. Like, we could pull this off.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, the people around me were getting so pissed off because there was nothing but Minnesota fans. I've never seen so much purple in a stadium, and we're sitting around we were just wrapped around Minnesota fans. I think that was the game. I think we all went – we went live afterwards, I think, if I was doing this YouTube thing. I don't know if I was. But there was a sound that went over the speakers that the Minnesota Vikings fans started chanting to. And I was like, they did not just pump some noise into the stadium that the Vikings fans
that's crazy
started chanting to and got pumped up to. And I don't know if it was just like a noise that stadiums usually use. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's like all of a sudden the Vikings fans are getting pumped up, and there's so much goddamn purple in that goddamn building. I don't know, Arnie. I think it's just gonna be a defensive battle. We'll see kind of how it plays out. But if I got to wait to the defense, I hope we lose the Chiefs. To be honest with you, let's keep that number 1 pick.
Battle at all. I think they're gonna look right. I think they just put a 40 today. I want to say,
yeah, Pete is just elder abuse. It is. It is.
Who did the Texans play today?
The Titans.
Oh yeah, they put a 40 on the Titans.
40 to 2. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it could get nasty. I mean, we couldn't score against the Eagles. I guess we couldn't
move the ball.
Less than 100 yards. imagine Aziz Al-Shaair. They got Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson. Oh, it's going to.
They had
It'll be a
old
long
ass.
day.
Who was it? Who was the D lineman 55?
Brandon
Graham.
Graham. They got a
Brandon
he got a
Graham.
sack. No, they took a sack away, right? Did he get another
I
one?
don't know. I don't know if they took the sack away. I don't know, but I mean,
The
he's
sack-
doing work on our offensive line. Like
Yeah.
this defensive front, like who I don't care who's playing because we saw how Kenny Pickett. Yes, he's mobile, but against Houston Texans front four, good luck. Good luck.
I played the Cardinals. It was the Cardinals.
Oh, that's right, the Cardinals. And that's the only reason why the Cardinals put up 20 because their offense can move the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it could be back-to-back shutouts.
Oh,
It could be back-to-back shutouts. Moving over Miami, we have a chance to lose. We do have a chance. We have a chance to lose.
We have a chance to set history. There could be historical. If we get shut out back-to-back games and putting up less than 100 yards in total offense, hey, man, if you're going to lose, man, swing for the fences. Go in the history books.
What up, Bob in the building? Yeah, I used to want to beat KC. All right, we'll see if it pulls off. Diesel and the family, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you, man. All right. So, a couple more people coming in here. Appreciate you. When's the last time the team scored 0 points back to back? Yeah, that's what I was like.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's it, man. Look. Hey.
It might happen.
Why not us?
But then, and then we got the Giants that don't have the worst defense either. The Giants have a front four that can get after us as well. And so, I don't know, but shout out to anybody. Like I think I am going to go live at that tailgate for that Giants game. It's cool.
That
Leo's going to be out here. I think LV.
Yeah, that's the week after, right? That's not this.
Yeah.
That's the week after.
Yeah.
What day is that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a primetime game. I don't think it's a primetime game, but also I think it's just Sunday.
I mean the date. What's the day? Is the 27th, something like that?
It should be the 27th.
All right.
Or 28th, weekend of the 27th. So it should be the Sunday, the 28th.
All right. If I'm in town, if I'm not, I'll keep telling the kids I'm gonna take them up to the snow.
Oh hell yeah!
So if I don't take them up to the snow this next week, and if I do it this next weekend, I'll probably roll up there. I'll probably roll up there with you guys, at least for that day.
That's cool. Let me know because then we might just rock over to that Tailgater Tavern, bro. Like that thing went off the other day when we went for the Cowboys game.
Okay.
So, but a lot of people are rolling in there. We're going to get out of here right now. We appreciate everybody that's just tapping in, man. Everybody's starting to roll in. We appreciate you guys. We've been going now for over 2 hours. We broke down this game, some things that we were looking for, things that obviously looked atrocious this game, getting our ass handed to us, 0-31. We'll kind of see how everything works out next week. But, man, before we get out of here, Severe, man, let everybody know what you got going on throughout the week, your 50-50 show, all that stuff. If you guys like late night lives, Severe's your guy.
Yes, man. Holla at your boy, man. You guys know what it is. The Severe Raider here on YouTube, X, TikTok, IG, Snapchat, everywhere. The Severe Raider. Sundays and Wednesdays, man, with my guys in the Raider War Room, man. 805 and Christopher Protector Shield, who is still on his sabbatical. He's
living his good life. Shout out to him.
Living his good life. He's out there just probably having a nice drink, man. Checking his phone, seeing if the parlays are hitting. But yeah, tap in with us, man. Wednesday we're gonna have the film. As they say, the iron sky don't lie, man. Unless you're Aston Genty, then it lies because what we're seeing is being manipulated somehow. But tap in for the film, and it's 805. When it comes to the film breakdowns, there is no Raider content, and probably not even a better just football content period than what 805 is gonna give you on those Wednesdays, man. So check that out. And Tuesdays and Thursdays with my guy Farrell NFL. The 50-50 show and Around the Shield. The late night crew, man. I'll let your boy. And tap in tomorrow, man. Football season over, man. My son lost the Super Bowl. Second year in a row they lost the Super Bowl, man. Second year in a row, man. So,
They got there.
Yeah, they got there.
Next year's another revenge season.
Yeah, exactly. He's moving up next year, too. What's crazy is that the team that lost to that played with them last year, a lot of those guys moved up this year, Then they lost to the same team in the Super Bowl too, so it was crazy.
Yeah, and look, guys, we will show every carry of Genty on Wednesday. Don't worry, we're gonna show every carry. Let you guys be the judge, but we appreciate y'all, man. I'm 805 Raider. My channel's Real Talk Raider Nation. We appreciate all the members, the subscribers, viewers, but we also appreciate all those super chats. Everybody throwing them out there. We definitely appreciate y'all. If you guys can, double tap that screen. I basically come on here. I do some random lives here and there, as long as my family lets me do it. But I definitely jump on here after the games, in the Raider War Room with Severe and Chris. After this, make sure you guys go over to Protect Show Podcast. Go show some love over there. Hit that sub button over there. But we also go and break down game film on Wednesdays. And at the end of the season, once it's done, we're going to break down game film of the free agents, college prospects, all that stuff. And I'll try not to be as biased as some people think I am. So we'll see how it works out, man. We appreciate y'all, man, rocking with us. And yes, Chris is probably drinking his port and or leaving the port. He's doing his thing and he's loving it. And shout out to California high school football, SoCal. Yeah, Santa Margarita beat De La Salle. That's good work. De La Salle is a powerhouse in California. So, yeah, Daniel Kim won that win. Yvette, appreciate you. Hey, everybody, double tap that screen before we get out of here. We definitely appreciate you. Hit that notification so you do know when we go live on Wednesday. We'll break down the game film. We'll have fun. We'll show everything we can. And, we'll rock out when we can. So have a great rest of your Sunday. We appreciate y'all. God damn, we are not doing
very soon. We got an Alexander Graham Bell reference where you got a mock draft, man. I do apologize for that.
Hey, and look, my boy Parrish looked pretty good against the Falcons on Thursday. I'm just going to throw that out there. But hey, that's neither here nor there. We'll have another mock draft very soon. So we appreciate y'all when we get out of here. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a great start to your week. We'll see you on Wednesday. We're out of here.